How to post supplier invoices to Enston Ledger. Hello everyone, welcome to a new tutorial on how to post supplier invoices to Enston Ledger. All you need to follow along with me is a web browser and an Enston Ledger account. The goal of this video is to show you how to post supplier invoices and make payments to these invoices using Enston Ledger. First, what are supplier invoices? At its most basic level, supplier invoices are the invoices and bills issued by the supplying vendor and received by the buying customer. That said, let us dive right into the demonstration. To create a bill or a supplier invoice in Enston Ledger, come to the left side of the page and click on Expense menu, after which you will select Bill from the drop-down sub-menu. Once the page opens, click on the Create button, and Enston Ledger will redirect you to the Create Bill page, where you can enter the necessary details. The very first step required before posting a bill is to create a vendor. To do this, click the Vendor drop-down and select Create New Vendor. Now, with this page open, let us enter the vendor's name and click Create. Kindly note that the remaining fields are optional, but you may enter the vendor's contact information and billing details if you prefer. Next, enter the bill date, due date, and bill number. After creating the vendor, we can then add an invoice item by clicking Add Item button. For this demonstration, let us assume that the bill is an invoice for office rental issued by the landlord. Accordingly, let's choose Rental for the account. Tax here is meant for GST or VAT. If your company is VAT or GST registered, you can select the tax code as per what is specified on the supplier invoice. However, if your company is not registered for VAT or GST, you do not need to choose any tax code, even if the supplier invoice specifies the VAT or GST amount. Just enter the full invoice amount in the amount input box. Next, we click on Create. This action would post the supplier invoice to the ledgers by debiting rental expense account and crediting trade creditor account. We can verify this in the respective reports. First, over here in the Profit and Loss report, you will see the rental expense of $3,000. While the balance sheet also shows the trade creditor balance of $3,000. Here, in General Ledger Account Transactions, you can also see that the double entries have been posted, with the debit to the rental expense account and the credit to the trade creditor account. That's all that's needed to create a supplier invoice in Enston Ledger. Now that the supplier invoice is posted successfully, let us see how we can post the entries on making payments to the supplier invoice. The prerequisite for making payment is to create a payment method. To do this, let's navigate to Payment Method submenu from Setup menu. Next, click Create button. With Create Payment Method page open, enter the payment method name, choose the payment source, and click Create. Now we can go ahead and enter payment to the supplier invoices. For this purpose, click Bill submenu again from the Expense menu, over on the left-hand side. Click the three dots menu and select Payment. Now, with this page open, let us enter the payment date, amount, and payment method. Payment number is auto-populated by Enston Ledger, while the description field is optional. Finally, click on the Add button to post this payment to the ledger. This action will post the payment to the ledgers by debiting trade creditor account and crediting the payment account. Let's verify this in the Account Transactions report, where you can see that the payment of SGD 3000 is correctly reflected in the debit side of trade creditor account and in the credit side of the UOB bank account respectively. This should give you a good foundation on how to post supplier invoices and how to make payments to the supplier invoices. Feel free to check out the other tutorials. See you next time!